Dear students, today we will discuss second law of thermodynamics. Suppose a water is falling from upper side to the downhill. It is a spontaneous process and natural process. All natural processes are spontaneous process. Suppose a ball is rolling from upside to the downhill side. This process also spontaneous process. Suppose a metal rod is there and you heated that metal rod. After some times its temperature increases. Therefore, heat flows from hot end to the cold end. Hot end to the cold end. This is again a natural process. Suppose if there is a container and in this container at the one end there is a gas which is at higher pressure and at the other end there is a lower pressure. Therefore, gas diffuses from higher pressure to the lower pressure. This is again a spontaneous process. Therefore, all spontaneous processes are natural. And irreversible. All these processes are irreversible. This is the first statement for second law of thermodynamics. The spontaneous process means that there is no external agency is required to perform this process. That is a spontaneous process. Then this is our first statement, and then second statement is entropy of universe is increases due to all these natural spontaneous processes. Entropy means there is increase in disorder. In universe there is always disorder is going on increasing. What is meaning of entropy? If orderly arrangement of this one of the thing is there which are orderly arranged. These blocks are orderly arranged, which is having a less entropy. Less entropy means the less disorder. And if these blocks are randomly distributed anywhere and at any direction, this is disorder. This is called a disorder, and this is called a increase in entropy. If there is a disorder is there, it means there is increase in entropy. Okay, first statements we have seen. The all spontaneous processes are irreversible, and all spontaneous processes are natural processes. Then second statement we seen that the entropy of universe is increases due to all these spontaneous processes. Then Clausius gives third statements It's very easy statement. Already we seen from this example. Heat cannot flow from cold body to the hot body. It's very easy statements given by the Clausius. It's unnatural thing. It means all the unnatural things not happens. This is one of the unnatural things. Or this flow water from downhill side, the uphill side is unnatural. It's not possible. Like that, heat flow from cold body to the hot body is not possible. That statement is given by the Clausius, one of the statement. Heat flows from cold body to hot body. Or for performing this, if you want to flow heat from hot body to the cold body, cold body to the hot body, you should require external agency. Then and then it is possible to flow heat from cold body to the hot body. So these are the three statements we have seen here. The last statement we are discussing are Kelvin-Planck statement. According to its statements, there is impossible to construct machine which converts all heat into 100% work. It means if suppose you have a internal combustion engine is there, suppose two-wheeler is there, and you put petrol inside it, or through the petrol heat is supplied to this engine. This two-wheeler engine only has the efficiency, or that particular 100% heat only gives 50 to 55% mechanical work. The heat supplied is lost due to number of reasons, due to vibration, due to friction, due to it goes into the surroundings. Therefore, that statement is given as there is impossible to construct a machine which gives 100% work from the particular used heat. These are the all statements for the second law of thermodynamics. First statement was all spontaneous processes are irreversible processes. All spontaneous processes are the natural processes. The second statement, entropy, that is disorder of universe, continuously increases, because due to natural processes disorder are increases. That's why disorder of universe continuously increases due to these spontaneous processes are happening in university. The Clausius statement was easy. No heat can transfer from cold end to the hot end. Or if you want to flow heat from cold end to the hot end, you should require any external agency. And last statement was given by Kelvin-Planck. There is no machine which can give 100% work by using the particular heat. These are all about the second law of thermodynamics. Then we will move towards the state of system. The second point is the state of system. Suppose if you have a particular system is there, and there is a container which is having this frictionless piston, and inside this there is a gas, and which is having certain pressure P1, volume V1, and temperature T1. These are the microscopic variables. Microscopic variables. P1, V1, T1s are microscopic variables. By using these variables, we can define a condition of system. Therefore, for this system, P1, V1, T1 describe the particular properties of this system. Therefore, this is a state of for this system. Therefore, we can define state of system. It is describe the condition of system by using such properties like the microscopic property. Number of microscopic properties is also we can include. Composition is there. These P1, V1, volume, temperature, and pressure are the microscopic properties. By using these microscopic properties, we can define any system. Suppose if you have boiling water, okay, boiling water, it's boiled and temperature is the 100 degree Celsius. Its temperature is 100 degree and its pressure is 1 atmosphere, and something it is 100 ml water. If suppose we consider 100 ml volume, these are the states which explain this particular system, boiling water. Therefore, these microscopic properties used for describe a system, used for to describe condition of system. Actually, what is set of properties there? State means a set of these microscopic properties. This one of the set is a state of this system. One of this set is state of this system. Then state variables. Next point is the state variables. The microscopic variables is nothing but the state variables. Therefore, the pressure, volume, and temperatures are individually the state variables. Again, we can include the compositions. These are the state variables. By using these state variables, we can describe a state of a system. A state of system is nothing but a set of particular microscopic properties. This is, and a state, if if it changes, it's some work is done on this container, then your final system P2, V2, and T2 from P1, V1, and T2. Therefore, this is the final state for a particular system, and this is the initial state for a particular system. Okay, this is all about the state of system. State of system is nothing but a set of the microscopic variables. By using these, we can explain condition of systems. Okay, then the state of variables. The state of variables are the properties by using which we explain a particular system. These are the variables. Number one is the pressure, volume, temperature, and the compositions are the variables, and states are the set of these micro state variables or set of the microscopic particles. This is all about our state of system. Then next point we have to discuss is in extensive and intensive properties. Suppose a system is there and particular system has particular mass, particular volume and energy. When we add, if suppose the system is weight is or mass is the 10 gram and its density is 1, therefore it's 10 ml, is same one. Suppose when we add 1 gram same substance in this, therefore it increases 10 gram to the 11 gram to the 11 ml. Its volume also increases by adding this. Its mass is also increases and its internal energy is also increases, because the energy of any system is depends upon the number of particles is there, number of mass is there, because energy E is equal to mc square. We know that the formula. The mass is converted into energy and energy is also converted into mass. Therefore, mass is increases, energy is also increases. Therefore, the properties which depends upon additive of matters, which depends upon the substance added, which depends upon quantity. The property which depends upon quantity is called as the extensive properties. This is all about the extensive properties. When you add the particular substances, all these properties will change. Therefore, the property which depends upon quantity, quantity dependent property, quantity dependent properties are called as extensive properties. If suppose you have such kind of substance is there and there are the 4 small particles is there, the extensive property is calculated by sum of all these parts, all these smallest part. Suppose if all is 1 gram, this is the 1 gram, this 1 gram, this particle is suppose 1 gram. Then you calculate its weight, 1 gram to 4 gram. Therefore, extensive property can be calculated by summation of all these parts, isn't it? For the extensive properties, it depends upon number of particles. If suppose when I add 2 again particles, then its volume is also increases, its mass is also increases, energy is also increases. Therefore, these are the quantity dependent properties, and the total extensive properties or the properties total can be calculated by summation of all the parts of this substance. These are the all about the extensive properties. The intensive properties is not, suppose if you have a 50 ml water and in other beaker you have 200 ml water, and suppose you measure its refractive index. Refractive index is a characteristic property of any substance. Therefore, the refractive index for both, if its quantity is less, its quantity is higher, but when we calculate the refractive index for both the water, it's the same. Therefore, you add the again water in this, you make 1000 ml, then again measure the refractive index, then it is always same. Therefore, the viscosity, refractive index, or specific energy, heat energy, is not quantity dependent properties. Therefore, the property which are not quantity dependent are called as intensive properties. These are the description. First extensive property is the quantity dependent properties, and second intensive properties is not a quantity dependent property. Therefore, this is all about we have seen today. Thank you very much.